Hi, this is Marc with RawNutrition.com. In this video, I'll be using the Hurom Elite Slow Juicer, model SBB11. I'll be using it to make almond milk. So these are almonds. They were whole almonds with the skin that have been soaked and hand peeled. You can do them like this if it'll make sure your milk won't be at all bitter when you remove the skin. You can leave the skin on also. It just makes your milk a little darker. You'll have little pieces of skin. You can filter it too. With this juicer, the Hurom Elite Slow Juicer, you do have two screens. You have a large whole screen, which is great for doing smoothies or letting more pulp into your juice, or like in this case, almond milk. I will be using the fine screen, so I have less filtering to do once I'm done. So the fine screen has much smaller holes, as you can see here, compared to the large hole screen. So I'll be using the fine screen for this demonstration, and I'll have the lever in the completely closed position, or the juice position, which means basically the pulp outlet, the lever is closed over it, maintaining the most pressure and keeping the most pulp in. So that way we'll be getting the most milk out of the almonds. I'm going to assemble this juicer back together. Nice feature with these new juicers from Hurom, they're very easy to assemble. There's no dots or things to line up. Other than lining up the auger, everything else goes in pretty well. Perfect, so there you have it. So I'll be alternating. I've got 1.5 cups almonds that were soaked and 3 cups of water. Generally 1 to 2 proportions for making almond milk is very nice. So what's the difference between using a slow juicer and a blender? Well, if you don't have a blender and you have just one appliance and you want to use it to do many things, this appliance is versatile for that. So you can use it for almond milk smoothies and juicing. Whereas in a blender, juicing's not that great. You've got to blend your whole fruits or vegetables and then squeeze out if you don't want the pulp in it. Definitely better for smoothies. With a slow juicer like this, turning at 40 revolutions per minute, actually 43 to be exact, the process is slow, so there's definitely no heat, no friction or oxidizing happening. I'll just get started and I'll be alternating. So I've got my lever closed. I can close the juice cap. Once it starts to fill up, I'll have to let some of the milk out, but leaving it in there longer helps the water and the almond pulp to mix in together. So a nice thing with this too, compared to a blender, it is pretty quiet. So it's not a loud or noisy process. So we're basically alternating between putting in almonds and pouring in your water. I'm starting to see some of the almond pulp coming out, which is another advantage too. By leaving it closed, I can put some of that pulp back in and run it through a second time. Try to squeeze out more milk from it. Now once your almond milk is done, you can save that almond pulp, you can dehydrate it. Obviously you will have removed some of the fat and a lot of the flavor, but it can still be used as a protein filler in nut bars or protein bars that you make yourself. And I'm just watching the level here of the water, make sure I don't go over. So I can put some of that pulp back in while there's still water in there. Just keeping my hand there in case some pulp comes out. And I can put a little bit of water. Try to squeeze out some more. So now I'll need to let some of the milk out. So we got a nice white milk. I'll close that back up, and then I'll finish off with the rest of the water and the almonds that I have. I just kind of consistently put in some water, put in some almonds. And the pulp that's coming out is very dry. Definitely getting juiced, or milk, I should say. Looks like I pretty much did half and half. 2 batches, so I had 3 cups of water. So the juicing bowl can hold at least a cup and a half of liquid. As I mentioned, by leaving it in there longer, that water is getting mixed around with the milk, with the almond pulp, and you're getting the most out of them. Now I will try again. Let's run this pulp one more time. This is really optional. You don't need to. You want to make sure you're getting the most. You want to make sure you're getting the most extraction. You can do that, and it works very well. That's it. Just make sure not to drop your spoon inside. Break your machine pretty quickly. And now I will let my milk out. And there you have it. You got fresh homemade almond milk, cold press, definitely cold press, with the Hurom Slow Juicer Elite, model SBB11. Again, this juicer turns at 43 revolutions per minute, so a very nice slow process. You could filter this some more if you don't like it. I did use a fine screen, so it's just going to have a nice creamy texture, but it may be a little bit of grit. You can use a nut milk bag or a fine sieve and get out the most fiber if you don't like that. But I find it very agreeable just like that. And I'll save some of this milk. We'll be doing some smoothie demos, and we'll be using that milk. So be sure to subscribe to our videos here on YouTube, and watch for more demos, product demonstrations, and visit us online at RawNutrition.com, where you'll find the best quality kitchen tools.